will now discuss is first the SRS, that is the Standards on Related Services 4400 and 4410, and then move on to the discussion of the SAE. Okay, right. So now first coming to the standards on the related services, right? So what is this? These are the standards on the related services. Okay, right. So we said as a CA, you could be doing audit, you could be doing review, you could be doing other assurance engagement other than audit or review, or you could be performing the related services, right? In an audit we saw yesterday, yes, or we've been seeing it since day one, that in an audit, auditor gives the reasonable assurance. In a review, CA will give the limited assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatement. In other assurance engagement, the CA might give a reasonable assurance in some cases, or he gives the moderate level of assurance, 50-50 types. But in case of the related services, related services, there is no assurance given by the auditor, by the CA. No assurance is being given. Right here, there is an assurance given. The level of assurance is different, but it is some type of an assurance. But here it is related services. That means it is no assurance over here. Right. So audit, review, other assurance. Do I need to comply with ERII? Do I need to have integrity, objectivity? Do I need to comply with the requirement of independence? Yes. For review also, do I need ERII? Yes. For other assurance also, does auditor CA need to comply with ethical requirements including independence? Yes. For related services also, should CA comply with ethical requirement? That should he have integrity, should he have objectivity, professional competence, due care? Yes, but only independence is voluntary in case of the related services engagement. Why independence is voluntary? Why it is not that you have to be independent? Because you are not giving any assurance. When are you supposed to be independent? When you express an opinion, whichever assurance. But here you are not expressing any opinion. You're not giving any assurance. That is why independence is voluntary. Do you need to maintain the quality control even for related services? Yes, quality control also needs to be maintained. Right. So over here, now we are talking about the standards on related services, wherein we have two. 4400 and then the 4410. Right? What is 4400? It is the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedures, AUP. The agreed upon procedures regarding the financial information. And regarding the financial information. Agreed upon procedures, like client has told you, okay, CA, will you perform this procedure 1, 2, 3, 4 for us? CA say, okay, agree, I will do it for you and I will tell you the findings. Right, and 4410 is the compilation engagement. And generally what we say, preparation and presentation of financial statements in accordance with AFRF management, your responsibility. But now management is telling CA, you please assist us in the preparation and presentation of the financial statements in accordance with AFRF. They are telling CA, you please use your accounting and financial reporting expertise and help us in preparing the financial statements. And so now CA is doing the preparation of financial statements part. Generally what we say, management you prepare, I audit, I review, I do the other assurance. But now what client is telling, CA, we give you our accounting records, you please prepare the financial statements, you assist us in preparing the financial statements. Okay, so now SRS 4400. Okay, so like I tell you, keep this phone from ear to ear, fold this particular cloth, right? Then after that, keep this bookmark over here. And then after that, probably you could Yes, what you say, keep this particular, ruler over here. I told you 4 things to do. Okay, keep the phone over here, fold this cloth, then after that, keep the bookmark over here and keep this ruler over here. So you say, ma'am, okay, I will do that. Right? So now client told you to perform procedure 1, 2, 3, 4. You perform procedure 1, 2, 3, 4. You communicate the findings of your procedure 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where your report ends. You told us to perform these procedures. We perform these procedures. These are our findings. Whether this is right, whether this is wrong, don't ask. These are the findings. So the report given by the CA in case of a compilation engagement is called as a report of factual finding. And a factual finding. Okay, you told us to check this and this is what we found. It's a report of factual finding. Neither an audit nor a review. No opinion is being expressed. And neither an audit nor a review, no opinion is being expressed. Okay, so now see, I could do the audit of the entire financial statement. So that is my normal 210 acceptance and 700 forming an opinion. Or client can tell me कि CA do audit only of debtors. So if they tell me only do audit of debtors, then I go to SA 805 because I'm auditing debtors. Example. Now client is telling me CA do AUP. What is AUP? Apo, agreed upon procedures regarding the debtors. And I say, okay, client, whatever you tell me, those procedures I will perform for your debtors and I will communicate to you the finding. Then that is SRS 4400. Now, if I'm doing audit of debtor, what I will do? I will take a listing of the debtor. Then I will send the confirmation request. Then if I don't get a reply, I will send a reminder. Then I will reconcile with the books of account. Okay. Now this I do it at my own professional judgment. Client just tells me, CA, you audit the debtor. Client, CA, you just audit our financial statement. So what procedure to perform? I decide. Auditor decides. But agreed upon procedures, the procedures are decided by the management. They tell you, okay, CA, you do these procedures. So what is the difference? In an audit, these procedures I perform at my own instance. And I don't communicate the finding unless and until I have a new observation. Okay, I found debtors are overstated, understated, then I report. But in case of agreed upon, whether there is overstated, understated, whatever, you just have to give the report of the factual finding. And you just have to give the report of the factual finding, right? Many times when a client is coming up with an IPO, if you've been doing your articleship in a Big Four, you would have seen these reports of the factual findings based upon agreed upon procedures. And it's a report of factual finding based upon the agreed upon procedures. Okay, right. So the report is generally called as report of factual findings based on agreed upon procedures. And see, one client can tell me, CA, you perform agreed upon procedures on our entire financial information. Our full financial statements do these agreed upon procedures. Or second, they can tell you, no, CA, not full financial statements, only debtor, only purchases, only related party. Whatever, it's mutually agreed upon. Right, so that is the first one over there, SRS 4400. Do you get the title of 4400, everyone? Engagements to perform the agreed upon procedures regarding financial information. Again, what we are going to discuss over here, the acceptance, the planning, performing, and the reporting. Right, the acceptance of the engagement, then the planning, performing, and then also the reporting. Okay, right, so let's come to related services, that is your SRS, right, 4400 and 4410, right? So AUP, agreed upon procedures, and this is compilation engagement. Right. So what are related services? Where client is telling you to prepare the tax return. They're telling you to do some consultancy engagement, right? So these are covered in the related services. And what type of report is given by the CA? A report of the factual finding. है ना, RFF, report of the factual finding. It could be for accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchases, profit or loss of a segment, or it could be for the complete set of financial statements also. And the person doing the related services, is it that he has to be the auditor? No. It may be same, it may be different. And the person who's done the audit, he himself may be appointed to do agreed upon, or it could be some another CA performing the agreed upon procedures. Okay, right? And now coming to the 4400, right? What you do, you perform the AUP. And based on the AUP, what happens? You get the report of the factual finding. What level of assurance you give? No assurance is provided by him in this report. And now, if obviously, example, you're getting the agreed upon procedures performed for your debtors, right? So, if this report goes into the hands of shareholders or some third party as such, they might think, oh, there seems to be something wrong in the debtor. Why they got agreed upon done? Okay. So, others, unaware of the purpose of why these procedures are performed, may misinterpret the purpose of the procedure. That is why these type of reports are restricted use report. They are meant only for a specific set of parties. Yes, so you have to mention in the other matter, emphasis of matter paragraph in your report, that this report is only for the creditors, only for the management, only for the decision making, whatever. Right? And it is not a report in the general domain. Right? So one, you do the AUP, report of factual finding. Do you give any assurance? No assurance. And again, the restricted use of the report. And obviously, it's a non-assurance engagement. Right? So what is the key difference between audit and agreed upon procedure? Key differences: in an audit, you express an opinion. You give a reasonable assurance. Whereas in an agreed upon procedure, you give the report of factual finding, no assurance, and it is for the users to draw their own conclusion. We did the procedure, we gave you the finding. Now you form your opinion on your own. Okay, right. And examples of agreed upon procedure for accounts payable, that is for the creditors of the company. So client has told you, CA, can you please do this much of checking for our creditors? And compare the names of the suppliers and the amount outstanding with the trial balance. Then obtain these statements and confirmation. Then compare the statements with the trial balance. Right? So they told you, do 1, 2, 3. You say, okay, I do 1, 2, 3. Right? And you get the actual findings, and those actual findings you report by way of the factual findings. Okay. General principles. Do you need to comply with the ethical requirements? Yes, but only what is not a requirement. Independence is not a requirement. Why? Because independence is required when you have to express an opinion. So whenever you're not independent, you have to mention the fact in your report. And it says independence is not required. If you are independent, nothing like it. But if you're not independent, it's okay. But you have to mention the fact in your report that we are not independent of the entity for whom we are performing these agreed upon procedures. Right. And then coming to the acceptance. Right. So acceptance matters to be included. The nature of the engagement. So what is the nature of the engagement? It is an AUP. It is neither an audit nor a review, and no assurance will be expressed. So making it very clear. Second, in nature, it is AUP. Second, why they are getting AUP done, the purpose of the engagement. Then identify the financial information. Is it the complete financial statements, or is it only the debtors? Then the nature, timing and extent of the procedure. These are the procedures to be performed. And last one, the limitation on the distribution of the report. Restricted use of this report. Right? So these are the points which have to be there in your engagement letter. What points have to be there? What is the nature of the engagement? Then why they are getting this engagement done? On what the agreed upon procedures are to be performed. Then what are the procedures to be performed, and the limitation on the distribution of the report. Right? Limitation on the distribution of the report. So what type of engagement, why they are getting it done, on what it is to be done. Then after that, what are the procedures to be performed, and the limitation on the distribution. Right? And that has to be agreed in the form of an engagement letter. Right. Then it says, again, for agreed upon procedure, CA, you need to plan your work. Right. Then after planning, now coming to the procedures. So acceptance, planning, performing, and reporting, right? So now we are talking about the planning performing, right? So here also, what does it say? Inquiry, analysis, then recomputation, then confirmation, inspection, observation. So, oh my God, I am using my 7 colors. But what did I tell you? The only difference, when I do an audit, I decide on my own that I will perform these procedures. In an agreed upon, I've agreed with the client who has told me, CA, you need to do these procedures. So we do ICAI ORR only, but the only difference is here it is agreed upon with the client. In an audit, I don't ask client, how I should audit debtors. You can't ask that, right? But here it is agreed upon with the client. Okay. And then we come to the reporting. In the reporting, what does it say? Clearly mentioned in your report that this is neither an audit nor a review and no assurance is being expressed. Okay. Right. So starting with the title, addressee, then identify the information, identify the procedures. And so you identify the information, then also the procedures which have been agreed upon. Right. Then that we have performed our engagement in accordance with the SRS 4400. Then the purpose why these procedures are being performed. Then the listing of the procedures. And then after that, the report of the factual finding. And a report of the factual finding. And then you very clearly say that this is not an audit nor a review. Then you also sell your audit over there. How do you sell it? Had we done an audit or a review, other matters might have come to our attention. Right now, we've not done audit or review. We have just done the AUP. But had we done on audit or review, other matters might have come to our attention. Then restricted use of the report. Then see if the agreed upon procedures are only for the debtors. So somebody should not think that, oh, CA has done agreed upon for the entire financial statements. No, so you have to mention that it is only for a particular element or item and it does not extend to the financial statements as a whole. And then you write down the signature, place and date. Right. So what are the points? Title, addressee, signature, place, date. Okay. Then identify the information. Then the procedures that are being performed upon, right, which have been agreed upon with the recipient. Then we do our engagement as per SRS. Then the report of factual finding. This is not an audit or a review. Had we done an audit or a review, other matters might have come to our attention. Then it does not extend to the financial statements taken as a whole. Then the report is restricted to a specific set of users. And these are the procedures and these are our findings. And then you have the signature, place and the date. Right, the signature, place and the date. Right, so that is one standard over there, which is your 4400. Okay, let us check a few, test your understanding for 4400. Right, so yeah, if you look into the new study material of ICAI, at the end of each chapter, in the between of the chapter as well as towards the end, they've given 3 types of question: test your understanding, test your knowledge, and integrated case scenario. Right, so test your understanding is more of the practical based, real life scenario based question. Right, so if you see this question over here, a company asks you to carry out the process of confirmation of its accounts receivable having balance in excess of 10 lakh as per books of account. The work to be performed involves preparing and sending confirmation requests, analysis of the receipt and submission of a report. What points will you keep in mind for inclusion in the report specifically for such engagement? And so what points you will keep in your mind? 1, the statement that the procedures were agreed upon with the recipient. Then we perform our engagement as per the SRS. Then the purpose. Then listing of procedure. Then the findings. Then neither an audit nor a review. Had we done an audit or a review, then restricted to the particular set of users and it does not extend to the financial statements as a whole. Right? So that is where they've asked the question regarding the reporting, right? And then after that, there is the question regarding the compilation engagement, which we will see next. Okay, right. So all of you, all good? Right, you are. So tomorrow we'll be studying digital auditing and assurance. Day after we'll be studying ESG, SDG assurance. Why? So that we have done our justice and prioritization to the change in syllabus as compared to the old course. Yes, everyone, where are you? Where where are you? What you are seeing? The birds chirping in the window. Or you're thinking what food is there today for lunch, right? Yes, are you listening? You get 4400. Is the class being beneficial for you? Are you getting the gist of the standards? Revising 4400. Very good, very good. Okay, right. So now coming to the next one over there, SRS 4410, which is regarding the compilation engagement, which is regarding the, so such a small name, compilation engagements. Okay, right. So compilation engagement, wherein now the CA is going to assist the management in the preparation and presentation preparation and the presentation of the financial statements in accordance with the AFRF, and for that CA is going to apply his accounting and financial reporting expertise. Accounting and financial reporting expertise. Okay, so now CA is going to help the management with the preparation of the financial statements. Okay, and now obviously after the CA compiles, and the management says, CA, we want you to prepare our financial statements as per Ind AS or as per the US GAAP, German GAAP. CA compiles. And after the CA finishes compiling, now the CA will issue a report called as the accountant's report. Generally क्या होता है? Auditor's report. But now it is accountant's report on the compilation of the audited financial statements. Our CA is so careful when he, even makes the title of his report. Accountant's report on the compilation of the unaudited financial statements. Okay, these are unaudited. We've just compiled. Accountant's report on compilation of the unaudited financial statements. Okay, so now is the CA going to prepare the financial statements of the company on behalf of the management? Is CA going to prepare the financial statements? Yes, CA is going to prepare. Okay, so now they've told CA, okay, CA, we pay you 20 lakh, you please compile our financial statements. Does that mean that now selection, application of accounting policy, accounting estimates, going concern, accounting records, all the making significant judgment, all that is now the responsibility of the CA? Is all that you say, oh, we are not doing it, we outsourced. We're telling CA, you come and you compile, you prepare our financial statements. So, you say, oh, now we've outsourced. So now we can just chill. Does that mean that now there is no longer no responsibility on the management? No. Selection, application of accounting policy, making estimates, going concern, completeness of accounting records, making significant judgment, all this continues to be the responsibility of the management, even though they've appointed a CA to assist them in the preparation of financial statements. And so all this continues to be the responsibility of the management. This is the question asked in your exams. Up to May 19 when this was applicable. Okay, then after that, so they say, okay, CA, all this is our responsibility. We take responsibility. We give you the data. Now you compile. So CA compiled. Now these financial statements which have been compiled by the CA on behalf of the management, now the company gives it to the outsiders. Now, who will be responsible for these financial statements? The CA or the company, the management? Who will be responsible for these financial statements to the end user, the CA or the management? 100% it is going to be the management. They have to take the responsibility of the final version of the financial statements which have been compiled by the chartered accountant. Please understand, you've not outsourced the running of your company to the CA. You've just outsourced the preparation of financial statements. He's just helping you to prepare the financial statements. You've not handed over, okay, CA, now it is your company, no longer my company. No. So all this continues to be the responsibility of management. After CA has compiled final version of the financial statements, responsibility to end users, even that is of the management only and not of the chartered accountant. Right? It is not of the CA. Okay, right? So that is first where we talk about the compilation engagement, wherein CA is using his accounting and financial reporting expertise to assist the management in the preparation presentation of the financial statements. Right? So why management wants the CA to prepare the financial statements? One, maybe it could be some financial statements required by law. Or it could be some financial statements which is not required under any particular law, but it is required for internal decision making. Or it is required by some external parties, by some funding body, some continuation of a grant or so. Or it could be required for a particular transaction that, two companies are to be amalgamated. So before that amalgamation or after the amalgamation, the entries are to be passed. And okay, how the financial statements will look like. Right? So what does it say? What is the purpose of compilation engagement? One, it is required by law, or it may not be required by law. That means it is required by management internally for some decision making, or it is required by some funding party, funding body, or as per the grant or so, or it is required for some transactional purposes, right? So that is one candidate for question in your exam. Okay, when CA could be appointed for the compilation. Okay, CA is acting on behalf of the management. Doesn't that mean that CA can take up management's responsibility? No. CA is only taking the part. See, now, like how the situation is. Okay, say the financial statements are to be prepared as per the Ind AS. Okay, now under Ind AS, for the valuation of inventory as per Ind AS 2, a company can use FIFO or weighted average method for valuation of inventory. Okay, now who will decide? Now these two, any of these two is acceptable. So out of these two, who will decide which should be the accounting policy being used by the company? Management. Management says, no, CA, we want to use LIFO. Then CA will tell them, array, LIFO not allowed as per AFRF. So now CA is using his accounting financial reporting expertise to assist the management in the preparation of financial statements. But he is not going to say, okay, you don't decide. You like, the laptop of the company, whether it is to be used for 3 years or 5 years. CA can say that the maximum you cannot use, say that you use it for 20 years. There is an estimated useful life of the asset. But you say every 2 years you want to change your laptop, that's your judgment. That's what I mean. No, okay, you are not handing over the running and the decision making of the company to the CA. You're just telling him, help us with the preparation of the financial statements. Okay. Right. So anyways, that is first the examples of compilation engagement. Then the objective, to apply accounting financial reporting expertise to assist management in preparation of financial statements and then to give a report. To apply financial reporting expertise and to assist management in preparation of financial statements and then to give a report. Okay, scope of compilation engagement. What does it say? You are only assisting the management in the preparation of financial statements in accordance with the AFRF. Management retains responsibility for financial information and the basis of which it is prepared. Right, so what does it say? Making of the judgment, selection, application of accounting policy, developing reasonable accounting estimate, all that continues to be the responsibility of the management, even in case of a compilation engagement. You understand that? Selection, application of accounting policy, making significant judgments, then after that reasonable accounting estimates, all that is the responsibility of the management. And different frameworks may require different, preparation, presentation of the financial information. And it could be ranging. So I told you like FIFO weighted averages allowed, but LIFO not allowed. Means you can tell the management how they can comply with the AFRF. Okay, do you need to comply with ethical requirements? Yes, but independence again is voluntary. Why? Because it is no assurance. There is no opinion being expressed. Okay, right. Now again we talk about APR. What is APR? Acceptance, planning, performing, and reporting. Okay, right? So acceptance, what does it say? CA will not accept the engagement unless the practitioner, that means the CA, has agreed the terms of engagement and with the management engaging party, including, okay, for what purpose are they getting these financial statements prepared? So the intended use. Then the identification of the AFRF. Okay, what AFRF the CA has to follow while compiling the financial statements. So intended use, then identification of the AFRF. Then the objective and scope of the compilation engagement. What is the objective? To comply, to assist and to apply. Financial accounting is reporting expertise. Then responsibilities of the practitioner, that means responsibilities of the CA and responsibilities of the management. This is the question which has come in your exams. Right? Retail question, specific question which has come in your exam. So one, they can ask you the wholesale question entirely. Okay, what are the terms or what are the conditions for accepting the engagement? Or specifically, there is a question regarding the responsibilities of the management. What is the responsibility of the management? Financial information and the presentation thereof in accordance with the AFRF that is acceptable is in view of the intended use. That financial information, whose responsibility? Management. Design, implementation, maintenance of internal control, management, your responsibility. Completeness of records, documents, explanation, other information, whose responsibility? Responsibilities of the management. Records, documents, explanation, other information provided by the management for compilation, the accuracy and completeness. And judgments needed in the preparation of financial statements, again that is the responsibility of the management. Right, so financial information, internal control, records, documents, explanation, other information, and the judgments. All this continues to be the responsibility of the management. And then you have the expected form and content of the report. That is the draft format of your report. Right, so intended use, then the identification of the AFRF, objective and scope, then responsibilities of the practitioner, responsibilities of the management, and last one is the expected form and content of the report. And then you put this in the engagement letter. Okay, right? So at least this much you've understood. Each standard we have to discuss APR, acceptance, planning, performing, and reporting. So right now we've completed with acceptance. Now we come to the performing part. Okay, and getting your financial statements compiled from a chartered accountant. Getting your financial statements compiled from a chartered accountant is like getting them audit ready. Because obviously when I'm preparing financial statements as per AFRF, I will immediately come to know okay, where their accounting policy is wrong, where their judgments, estimates are going wrong. You understand? No. So getting an accounting done from CA is getting a free audit done. Because anyway, CA will ensure that there is no non-compliance of AFRF. Okay, so now when CA has been appointed to compile the financial statement, even in this case, is knowledge of the client business required? Yes, but here not only knowledge of the client's business, but also the knowledge of the AFRF. So now here you need KOC and also the knowledge of the AFRF. Why? Because client says, CA, we don't know the AFRF. That is why we want you to apply your expertise. CA says, you don't know, or even I don't know. No. So CA, you need to have knowledge of two things. Knowledge of the client and also the knowledge of the AFRF. Once CA you have these two knowledge, now CA what you start doing? You start compiling the financial information based on the records, documents, explanation, other information and the significant judgments. Right, what we had studied in management's responsibility also, records, documents, explanation, other information, and last point was the judgments. Right, so you start compiling on the basis of what? records, documents, explanation, other information, and the significant judgments which have been provided by the management. Okay, right. Then after you start compiling the financial statements as per that, then you start discussing. What you start discussing? The significant judgments. Okay, management, how you decided this useful life of asset? Management, how you decided to do this write-off? Why you are making so much provision? So you discuss with the management how they have made these significant judgments. So first CA, two knowledge is required. After the knowledge is required, you start compiling. When you start compiling, you start discussing. And then after discussing, this is where the free audit happens. You start reading the compiled financial information. And obviously, when you read, all the fraud error might pop out. Right? So you start reading. And then after you read the information and you think what that the records, documents, explanation, other information, and the significant judgments provided by the management for compilation are incomplete, inaccurate, or otherwise unsatisfactory. You're saying you're not giving us all the data. Your data is inaccurate. Your data is not satisfactory. First, what you do, you bring it to the attention of the management and request them to give you the additional or corrected information. Right? So what is first 2 points? Knowledge of client, knowledge of AFRF, then compile, discuss, and read. And then if you come to know, okay, oh, the information provided is incomplete, inaccurate, or unsatisfactory, what you do, you bring it to the attention of the management and you tell them to give you the corrected and the additional information. If they say no, they fail to provide, you say bye. You withdraw from the engagement. Why? You give me data, then I compile. Now, you not giving data only, then how I compile? CA says bye, I'm going. Okay, that is one. If he becomes aware, and that some information is inaccurate, incomplete, or so. Or if the practitioner becomes aware that during the course of compilation that does not adequately refer to the AFRF, amendments are required for it to be not to be materially misstated, or otherwise the information is misleading. Okay, somewhere there is a wrong in the something material misstatement in the financial statements that are being compiled. What CA will do, he will propose the amendments to the management. See, anyways, I am compiling. I can make the change, but I will have to first ask client, no, discuss with the client. So you propose the amendments with the management. If the client agrees, wonderful, you make the amendment. If they do not agree, they do not permit you to make the amendments to the compiled financial information, again what you need to do, you need to withdraw. And when you withdraw, you need to consider your professional legal responsibility. And who is responsible to the end users to the financial statements which CA has compiled? Obviously, the management will be responsible. Right? The management will be responsible. Right? So this is again an important question over there, performing the engagement. Right? So knowledge of the client, knowledge of the AFRF, then compile, discuss, and read. Then information incomplete, you request, not provided, run away. Then if you think that some amendments are required to be made to the financial statements, you propose the amendments to the management. If they do not agree, again you leave. Right? You withdraw from the engagement. And again, you need to say that management, you are responsible for the final version of this compiled financial information. Right? What will you communicate to management TCWG? All your findings, right? All the matters concerning the compilation engagement. And then we talk about the practitioner's report. Right? Title, addressee, then a statement that the practitioner has compiled. See, in an audit, how does our audit report start? We have audited. In a first line, introductory paragraph, we have audited. In a review engagement, what we say? We have reviewed. In an agreed upon procedures, what do we say? We have performed the procedures agreed upon with the client. Now, in case of compilation, what we will say? We have compiled. And we have compiled. So audit, this is review, this is SRS 4400 and this is SRS 4410. We have compiled. right? The financial statements based on the information provided by the management. Then management's responsibility, right? So description of the management's responsibility, identification of the AFRF, identification of the information. Right, so you identify the AFRF and you also identify the information. Then you've given management's responsibility. Next, you have to give the practitioner's responsibility. Then say that the engagement has been performed as per this SRS. Then you say this is not an assurance engagement. It is not an audit nor a review. Right? So no assurance and neither an audit nor a review. Then again, specific set of users may not be suitable for another purpose. And then you have the signature, place and date. Right? So title, address the identification of the information that is being compiled, right? Then responsibilities of the management, responsibilities of the practitioner, identification of AFRF, identification of the financial information. Then after that, the engagement was done as per SRS. It's neither an audit nor a review, no assurance, right? Then after that, intended users may not be suitable for another purpose, and then signature, place and date. And with ICAI in the study material, they put this question. Okay, what documentation should a CA keep in his audit file when he, not audit file, in his engagement file when he is doing a compilation engagement? Right, so what documentation? Significant matters arising during the course of compilation, then whether the compiled information, how it reconciles with what? The records, documents, explanation, other information, and the final version of the compiled financial information. Right, so what the CA needs to document in his engagement file? Right, one, the significant matters. Second, how it reconciles the compiled financial information with the underlying records. And third, it says the final version of the documents. Right, and a summary of the significant accounting records or others may also be included in the documentation. Okay. Yeah, so what is the second question over here? During the course of performing a compilation engagement as per 4410, it becomes known to you that the client had suffered a theft loss of 100 lakh of inventory for over a period of time at a storage location visited infrequently. A claim was lodged by the client with insurance company, which has cancelled the same due to technical reasons relating to coverage policy. The client has not preferred a complaint or an appeal. The amount is reflected under the head current assets in the trial balance. Discuss how you should proceed with this matter. Right? So during the course of compilation, you come to know about a matter. What you will do, you will propose the appropriate amendments to the management. If the management does not agree, what you do, you withdraw from the engagement, and then you need to consider your professional legal responsibilities. Right, so you come to know management, this is wrong. So you propose the amendments to the management. If they don't agree, you withdraw and you consider your professional legal responsibilities. Okay, wonderful, right?